4 days later, we have to address the elephant in the room that this may actually just be the worst curly hair routine ever. So maybe you can help me out. What actually warrants a routine being labeled the worst curly hair routine ever? It has to mean shampooing with dishwasher soap, styling with lube, and sealing with the freaking car oil. I don't know. Or maybe, just maybe, you have to be crazy enough to break all of the supposed rules of the Curly Girl Handbook. AKA, you go against the norm and find a routine that actually works for you. That's what this creator did. This sweetheart Anna labeled her routine as the worst curly hair routine ever, and it has gone completely viral. Spoiler alert, her hair looks amazing when she does it. But the biggest question on everyone's mind is, how does it look on other people's textures? So we're gonna find out today. As usual, I will be your guinea pig because that's what I do here. I am your main girl, Mel. I am a professional hairstylist, so I wanna take this routine and their tips and kind of break down why or when you may want to adjust it to make this routine actually work for you and your hair type. And hopefully my hair looks better in the end of this video than it does right now. Because I mean, it doesn't look bad at all right now. And if it looks better now than later, I fear I'll be a hater. We're hoping for the best. Stay tuned for this mess and let's get to it. So yeah, the first step is actually dry brushing our hair before the shower. And I fear that's not even the kicker because this is supposed to be the last time that we get to use a hairbrush in this routine. Somebody help me! This is a very tall order from a brush styling girly, but we'll see how far I get. We'll see. We shall see. Am I gonna load my hair with oil before I do this? Absolutely. If you are anyone with dry, fragile ends, if your hair definitely feels on the more brittle side, you don't want to do this. You want to brush your hair when there is some kind of lubrication in there, when it is hydrated, because if it's really dehydrated, it's going to be brittle and break. So in order to prevent breakage while doing this, we're going to prep the hair with an oil. This is the oil I'm using. It's the Aveda Nutriplenish multi-use hair oil. We love a multi-use hair oil. I will be multi-using many products in this routine that are not the same as the original creator because not all products are going to work for everybody. I'm going to use products that I use in other routines that I already know work for me, which is going to be a great test to see if it's the technique that actually makes a difference with this routine or the products. The scariest part about this routine is the lack of brushing because when you brush your hair, you are able to really distribute your product all throughout your hair. And in the past, I found that when I don't brush through my products, my hair gets dry faster. So that's why I chose a really nourishing routine. This is actually a lot simpler than I anticipated, so love this for me. Wow. Are you joking? And yeah, I am kind of feeling obsessed with this. Okay, are you still with me or is this step already feeling very scary? I fear it doesn't get much easier from here. Easier on my heart, that is. But the next steps after this pre-wash prep are very simple, very basic. The OG creator cleanses her hair twice with a bond-building shampoo. Clean hair is the best hair to apply your bond strengthening products on because the ingredients will have a much better time penetrating into your clean hair than hair that has buildup. And using a bond strengthening shampoo helps to combat any damage you may incur while you are shampooing. The cleansing process could be the most stressful on the strands for some of you, especially if you're like my sister who likes to rub and start a fire on her scalp. Anna, you're just scrubbing on top.
Listen, shut up! I'm doing it!
I'm so serious. Get into your scalp.
I am!
No, get under the hair. Finger pads should hit
My fingers
directly on your
hurt.
scalp. If your strands are rubbing together, you need to get it together and get your hands in there. Always remember under the strands and not over when you're scrubbing. Moving on to conditioner, the original creator uses a deep conditioning mask. So I'm using the Aveda Be Curly Advanced Intensive Curl Perfecting Mask. Notice how we're only using our fingers. I hate this because it usually takes so long, but when you use a really good mask with amazing slip like this one, it's not so bad, especially since we detangled when it was dry. So far, not that bad. This is the hair just rinsed. It's finger detangled, and we are ready to style. Now, the original routine only consists of a foam and a gel. She doesn't use a leave-in conditioner or a curl cream. She says those products tend to weigh her hair texture down, but knowing me and knowing my hair and my hair needs, I'm gonna lean into using a leave-in conditioner that's a spray and the lightest form of a leave-in conditioner that I can use. That way we're still following her rules, but applying them to me. This is where we get customizing. And again, these are the products that I'm using because I know how they work for me. They are tried, tested, and true. What we're really reviewing here is the technique of application. So if you want more details on any of the products that I'm using, I will have them linked in the description box below. Let's get styling because the hair, you know me, she's quickly drying. So maybe this is a step that you skip. Maybe you're not applying a leave-in conditioner in your hair if your hair is weighed down. That's totally fine, especially when you're using such a nourishing mask in the shower. So I've just spritzed that over, and if you take a look at my hair, this is how we are going to style her. There is no sectioning, no brushing, and no declumping. This routine is going to highlight my own natural curl pattern with zero manipulating. So she jumps straight into using a foam. She says she applies 4 pumps, but she's got hair. So 4 pumps per strand, perhaps? I'd like to know. I'm gonna go in with these 6 pumps, and I'm just going to glaze this all throughout my hair. Oh my God, this stuff is like water. 3 more pumps, I'm up to 9. She says flipping over her hair is key. Now our gel, I'm gonna use a good Looney Toony. This is definitely a tablespoony amount. And as the technique goes, you flip, glaze, flip, and then scrunch. And then from here, that's almost it, but she does something interesting. She uses a heat protecting spray after her stylers and before diffusing. Now this isn't that weird because anytime you're about to apply heat when you're styling, you should definitely apply a heat protectant. But if I may, Anna, if you're watching this by chance, I would apply this a little earlier in your routine. That way you make sure you are distributing it evenly throughout your hair. Your current application method is spraying your heat protectant on your hand and then scrunching it in. But the most important aspect of applying a heat protectant is actually protecting all of your strands. So you want to focus on your application. That's why I would recommend applying it prior to the rest of your stylers, which is what I've already done. So now we're going to move on to drying, but we're not going to put the gel away just yet. We're gonna come back to it. I feel like this next part was a little call out to me.
I do exactly what you're not supposed to do. I flip my hair, I scrunch with the diffuser. Because listen, these are the things that are gonna give you volume, okay?
Because you know me, I talk heavily about hovering, especially to set that cast. But she's saying we're gonna skip over that and go straight to scrunching because this is primarily a volume routine for wavy curly hair textures to achieve those big natural textures. You definitely still wanna take your time when you do this. Be conscious of how you're scrunching your hair into the diffuser and don't hold for longer than 15 seconds before releasing and moving on to your next section. That way you don't overdo it on just one strand, especially if it's not in the bowl correctly. There's still time to fix it later. All right, now this is a lot of movement, right? This is what causes the frizz, right? But here's what comes next. I always tell you, if it's frizzy when it's wet, it'll be frizzy when it's dry. And so if you notice mid-diffuse that your hair is not quite setting right and it is starting to frizz, do what this creator does and go back in with your hair gel at around 60% dry. We're going to, once again, take a little bit of gel. I'm gonna add just a little bit of water to mine. And then we take this product and we're going to smooth it over, glaze it over any sections. Of course, not only is this going to help smooth down any frizz at this point, but it's also reinforcing that hold. And when you have a wavier hair texture, this could be a game changer because when you apply your products on soaking wet hair, yes, you'll clump the hair nicely, but you'll also dilute a lot of your products, so you might not get that much longevity. But with this, you're getting really the best of both worlds. You can already see how my curls have clumped together very naturally in their own way that we have not disturbed whatsoever, believe it or not. And now we're just reinforcing all of that with this gel, glaze, and scrunch. If you catch yourself wondering what is 60% dry, there's no longer any squishing when you scrunch your hair. You're not hearing a lot of that moisture anymore. You'll notice that you already do have a cast pretty well set on the hair, but it is still very flexible. The hair is still very much damp. Now we're gonna finish drying it to 100%. Technically, this is the end of the routine, but this is not gonna be the end of this video. These are just our first impressions, and she says that this routine lasts her for multiple days because it is so light and fluffy. And can I just say, I definitely agree with that. Because I didn't really go into the hair and apply any product, maybe, just maybe, you tell me if it's really frizzy. What I will say is it definitely does feel very lightweight. Some thoughts and feelings that I'm having right now is a lot of gratitude for all of the treatments and hair care that I always frequently do. I'm glad that I'm trying this routine before I go in with any more bleach because I am planning to do some additional blonding soon. Stay tuned. Because this is definitely a routine that is best to be done on hair that is extremely healthy. It's very funny that she calls it the worst curly hair routine because it goes against the norm, but there's nothing bad about it in the sense that she is extremely gentle on her hair. She completely lets the curl do what it naturally wants to do. But that being said, if your hair is still on its healthy hair journey and it's not at its best, this style can be very unpredictable, which is why I love brush styling. I tend to get way more consistent curls, way more even product distribution, as I mentioned, which is extremely important. And all of that tends to aid in longevity as well. I don't predict that this hair routine will last multiple days for me, but there's only one way to tell. So if you'd allow me, I'm gonna take it for a spin, a night on the town, and we'll come back with updates. So BRB, let's go dancing. All right, curl friends, clock in for this day 4 update. We have had some time to marinate. I have definitely reflected on this look. Initial thoughts, I want to start with something positive. This routine may just have to go under our playlist, curly hairstyles that everyone should know how to do for these obvious reasons. Number 1, this is very fast. This is the curly hair routine for those that are a little lazy. And since it is so quick and effortless, this is truly the perfect routine for anyone that loves that 90s curly hair look. You know the curls I'm talking about. Big, effortless, and frizzy, but with purpose. The purpose is volume. And we can see that this routine is super big and fluffy, but it also has me thinking, is my regular routine a lie? Because if we address the elephant in the room, my curls look very different with this routine versus even just how I started this video. And hopefully my hair looks better in the end of this video than it does right now. There's a noticeable difference in the way my curl pattern looks, and that can definitely be chalked up to the tools, or rather lack of tools, that I used. That may pose the question, is using a brush to style your hair faking your curls? It's something I have been asked time and time again, and the short answer is no. But the long answer is it more comes down to not the tools that you use, but the application technique. So let's once again quickly run through all of the steps that we did to achieve this look and how you might want to alter it for your hair type if you wanted to customize it. Because personally, I would customize this routine a little bit to work more for me and how I prefer my hair. Number 1, that dry brushing prior and then not brushing at all, even with your conditioner. In my experience as a professional, this is not gonna make or break how your curls are naturally going to clump. You can most definitely use a detangling brush in the shower with your conditioner and not have to worry about ruining the effect of those clumpy, chunky waves and curls that this routine can give you. Of course, not everyone will have to bring a brush into their shower. If you have a silkier, wavy, curly texture that is very easy to detangle with your fingers, do whatever you want. But with a curlier texture, and I will say personally, using a brush to not just detangle, but even to distribute that product through every single strand on my head is the most important step to help reduce the amount of frizz. Now, I say that even though this routine is to welcome frizz because we don't need to demonize it. Frizz, if it is unstyled, as we have discussed in just a previous video. For example, when a strand of my hair isn't gathered into a curl family and it's more just a thinner strand of hair, it becomes less protected than a bundle of hair in a big curl. And I always find that those strands dry out faster than a big clumpy chunky curl. That is the case for almost every volume routine I have ever posted. Can leave some of these straggler strands more vulnerable. Time and time again, I have shared the disclaimer that a volume routine doesn't quite last as long as a definition routine. Because when the curls are more clumped together, that product is evenly distributed with or without a brush, because you can also use your fingers. But if we remember, with this routine, we only glazed and scrunched. That method definitely left certain strands with not enough product. And so I do want to share a warning that when you don't distribute your product super evenly and you do leave some strands a little frizzy and unruly, those strands are going to be more vulnerable to possibly splitting. Like personally, for my day 4, I feel like I need a haircut? My ends feel drier than they usually would, even if I use these exact same products, this exact same routine, just with a different styling technique, aka brush styling. But let's go back to the steps of the routine. Like I said, I would at least tweak the first few steps and actually use a brush up until the conditioner, just to at least brush the conditioner through your hair. The next thing that I might adjust or actually suggest is applying your stylers while still in the shower. This will really help to get more of those big, clumpy, chunky curls, especially for my wavier girls out there. The benefit of this is you'll actually get the whole routine done even faster. So just as a note to self for the lazy curlies, especially if you find that you have to take a break after washing, hi, that's me. I often sit in the clip for 45 minutes plus after my shower, if I even end up styling that same day. Sometimes I can't do that either. So bring your products into the shower while it's still super soaking wet. This will be a great time to do a lot of your glazing and scrunching. You'll get those really big chunky curls, similar to the bowl method curls for wavy hair. And cutting out the time between your shower and your styling will also reduce the chances of your hair tangling in between that time, especially since we're not picking up a brush. What else did I have in my notes? Like I said, applying a leave-in conditioner to prep and prime your hair is definitely a no-brainer, a non-negotiable if your hair is on the drier, more color-treated side. Like me, if you have high porosity hair, this is definitely not a product that you want to skip, and definitely a product that you want to start off with. And bonus if it has that heat protectant so you're not applying it afterwards. Now I know what you're thinking. Those are the few tweaks that I would make to this routine to make it work a little bit better for me next time, as well as the steps that you may want to consider. If you want a list of all these steps, I will make sure to summarize all these tips in a blog post linked below. And you let me know, vote in the comment section if you do think that this is the worst curly hair routine ever. So dramatic, brilliant marketing, and genuinely a very good routine for the wavier curlies. I'm not gonna say it's for me, but I hope that you viewing this video did find it helpful. I will once again put a link to any of the products that I use in the description box below. And I am now going to go redo my hair. Actually, I need to go blonder because I am staring at the way that these roots look, and they're fine. They're fine, they're lived in, but I don't want to look lived in. I want to look like a living, breathing, real life blonde from the scalp. So wish me luck on that journey. Maybe I'll film it. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for a lot more blonding tips because, you know, the summer hair is in the air, and I do need to share some professional disclaimers in case you're feeling invincible like my C-stare, okay? Color care and damage repair videos coming soon, and I literally love you. I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching. This has been your main girl, Mel, and I'm out. Peace. Okay, so not to spoil the rest of the routine, but the first step is what hurts the most. We haven't even started and I am so close to crying and shitting myself. I'll finish writing that song later. Woo! All right, oh, mic. I thought I turned it on. Oh, hello? Yeah, the shower's peeing. 1 second. Do you need some privacy?